Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So, Joe Biden has proposed a billionaire tax, and all the usual suspects are crying. They're crying on their private jets, no doubt, on their luxury ships. Leon Cooperman, otherwise known as the crying billionaire, you guys may remember him from a while back, literally crying on TV about a possible wealth tax. Anyway, he's out there, he's stomping his feet because, this isn't fair. So, you know what? You know what isn't fair, Leon? A sanitation worker paying a higher percentage of his income or her income in tax than you greedy ass clown. Anyway, here's the deal. Here's what Biden is proposing. This would impose a minimum 20% tax on households valued at more than $100 million. And he claims that this would net $360 million to help cut the deficit, is how he's framing it. I'm assuming to get Republicans on board. I really wish that they would stop with the deficit hawkery BS that they do. Japan has a massive debt. They don't have any problems. People just need to educate themselves. It depends on what that debt is for. If it's bailing out billionaires, then yeah, it's a problem. But if it's to help stimulate the economy and help average Americans, that is going to be a positive. And given that we've seen how unfair the tax codes are and how tons of these uber wealthy jackasses literally get away with often paying $0 in federal taxes, something like this needs to happen. So numerous reports have estimated that, and you guys may remember, I did a full report on this, but there was a report that came out that they've estimated the actual real tax rates of billionaires, and it is obscene how little they pay compared to an average American. Last year, for example, ProPublica put out a report. They estimated that Warren Buffett's actual tax rate is 0.10%, not 1%, not 10%, 0.10. So a fraction of 1%. Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder, Washington Post owner, he wasn't much better. His true tax rate is estimated at 0.98%. So not even a full percent still. Again, ridiculous. So Elon Musk, he's really hurting, you guys. He's really in trouble because he paid a whopping 3.27%. Yeah, poor guy. We should start a GoFundMe for him. Anyway, under Biden's new plan, and according to an economist, Musk would owe as much as $50 billion in taxes. Bezos would owe $35 billion. Now, and think about that. That's 20%. Most average Americans, especially, middle income Americans, the middle class, pay far more than 20% in taxes. And that would equate to $35 billion for Bezos, less than what a middle-class American pays, would equate to $35 billion for Bezos and $50 billion for Musk. It just goes to show you how much they get away with, and why we can't have nice things. So this minimum tax would also, and this is the big sticking point, it would also apply to unrealized appreciation, which is why most of these people are whining and crying and boo-hooing in their caviar. What that means is that if a billionaire has assets or investments, let's say they have money in the stock market, they'll have to pay that minimum tax on any increase in that asset or in those funds. So under the current system, let's say Jeff Bezos, let's say he has $100 million, he parks it in stocks, and the value of those stocks increased to $150 million. Well, he gets to claim that as part of his asset base. He gets to say, oh, wow, my total net worth just increased by $50 million. But Bezos doesn't have to pay a dime on that $50 million. right? He just gained 50 million, but he doesn't have to pay anything in taxes unless he cashes those funds out, unless he pulls that money out. What he can do, though, because people say, oh, well, yeah, he's not touching that money, so why should he have to pay? Because that could drop at any moment. Okay, well, he can and does, this is what they all do, borrow against that $150 million that he holds in assets. So Bezos and others go and they leverage their wealth. They take out enormous loans and then they use those loans to fund their extravagant lifestyles. Then, to boot, they pay interest on those loans, which they then write off. So that reduces their taxable income by even more. This is why most of them, like I said, pay far less in taxes as a percentage of their income, because so many people get it twisted and they go, oh, they're paying millions and millions and hundreds of millions or blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit. It's about the percentage of their income as compared to an average American, a low wage or middle income American. And the real bullshit part about this is that these billionaires can live like kings and queens till the day they die. And then they pass along those assets to their heirs without taxation. And then the cycle continues. So then you have their children, people who have never lifted a finger for their wealth. They inherit billions in assets in the form of stocks, in the form of paintings and other art. And then they use this same ploy. They just keep borrowing money and they enjoy their life while you and I are working our asses off and paying taxes. And then those of us who are working hard and paying our fair share and helping the government to fund the programs that we all use, we're told we can't have anything. We can't have anything that might improve our lives or that of our children. We can't have universal health care. We can't have free community college. We can't have assistance paying down student debt or free or assistance for childcare. We can't have assistance to take care of our elderly. We can't have, pipes that are free and clear of lead and other toxins because, we can't afford it. No, we can't afford any of that. And this is why. Oh, and, even though we've all paid into Social Security our entire adult lives, they keep trying to cut the program because there's not enough money to fund it to take care of our elderly. And why? Because these rich, greedy SOBs don't pay their fair share. That's why. But to read some message boards, you would think that these guys are the real victims. It's truly astounding how some shows, some so-called news shows are able to brainwash their viewers into not wanting economic equality. The comments run the gambit from fear, of course, fear, always fear, right? Fear of these billionaires packing up, taking their companies elsewhere, or pushing the propaganda that, these are the job creators, quote unquote, job creators. And, they're going to stop spending their money. First of all, I got news for these people. It's a proven fact that the wealthy people, the wealthiest people in the country, aren't the ones who stimulate the economy and aren't out there spending money constantly. It's the millions of average Americans who are struggling right now to keep their heads above water. They pay a larger chunk of their salaries and hourly wages in taxes every year, and they're out there spending more and stimulating the economy more. That is a proven fact. Second, where are these companies going to go? Where are these people going to go? They're going to leave the US? Oh, okay. Yeah. Are they going to move to maybe socialist Canada? Maybe socialist Japan? Oh, I know, maybe socialist Europe. Those countries don't all have government-funded healthcare because the wealthy are getting away with tax murder as they do here. Oh, I know. I have an idea, guys. Maybe they can move their companies to Russia, and then Putin can take a nice fat slice of their tax-free pie. Yeah. Anyway, here's the thing. Joe frickin' Manchin, he is already turning his nose up at this idea. In a comment to Bloomberg News, Manchin questioned how you can be taxed, quote, on things you don't have. Really? I don't know, Joe. How can you use things you don't have as collateral? How do you use things that you don't have to take out millions of dollars in loans to act as a guarantee for millions in loans? If they didn't have it, they couldn't take out those loans. I really hope someone asks him that. And if these people truly don't have the billions in assets and in the stock market and hedge funds and art pieces and whatnot, then why are banks lending them money against these non-existent assets? And, here's an idea. How about we tax them on the loans that they take out? If they're taking out a loan and they're using it to fund their lifestyle, they're using it to pay their bills, rather than pulling out their assets, rather than selling a piece of art, if they're using those assets as leverage to get these loans, let's tax the loans. Then we know exactly how much it should be. Because people say, oh, well, these assets, they go up and down, they fluctuate, blah, blah, blah. How do you hit them with taxes on something that, it could be worth something today, but it's not worth something tomorrow? Okay, tax them on the loans. The bank does their due diligence. They look at all of their assets. They look at all of their financial information, and they make decisions based on their financial strength or weakness and what assets they currently hold. And they loan them a certain amount of money that is proportionate to the assets that they're holding. So obviously those assets exist. But if you don't want to tax them on the assets, tax them on the loans. Done. Over. Simple. Manchin is a corporate shill, and he will always be a corporate shill. And he never met a rich person that he didn't want to try to protect. Anyway, guys, if I hear any more about this, I'll let you know. Chances are this isn't going to happen, but it would be nice. We can dream, right? All right. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.